Hey, Mike here with Canadian Musician. Canadian Blast Barbecue here in Austin is just wrapping up, and I guess one of the suddenly most important people in all of Canadian music here beside me, Chris Taylor. Of course, Chris is a very well-known entertainment lawyer in Canada, also the founder of Last Gang Records. But just recently, I think just last week, it was officially announced, Tuesday is officially announced, that he's now the new president of Entertainment One, eOne Music's global operations. So Chris, being the big man in town, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. We want to tell people the story and what we're up to and what's going on. It's a really exciting time for us.
No kidding. I'm wondering the background on how all this comes together. Did it start with, because Last Gang also is now becoming a division of eOne.
Yeah.
I know that was kind of your baby. Did this start as you becoming president and then Last Gang comes into eOne, or did it start as a merger and that expanded you to being president? How did it come all together?
Yeah, it was really a discussion that started with what I wanted to do going forward, which was take Last Gang kind of to the next level. We've been doing it for at that point up to about 10 years and had enjoyed some success, but in order to pursue more opportunity and grow what we were doing for the company and for the bands, really felt we needed to partner up with someone, get into bed with a company that could help provide the resources to do that. And this is how it all sort of dovetailed together. I think eOne as a music company was looking for leadership as well at the same time, so it was sort of a perfect match.
Very cool. Like, why? I guess you explained it a little bit there, but I'm sure there would have been no shortage of interested takers if you had come to them saying, we're looking to partner, Last Gang's looking to partner. Like, I'm sure Warner, Sony, all of them would have had interest. Like you said a little bit of there, but why eOne? Was that first in your mind as well?
It really stems from a relationship that I have with the CEO there, Darren Throop, who's been a friend for many years before that conversation ever sort of started up. And you just met him, actually, yes. But if you spend some time with him, he's an inspiring leader. He has built that company from the ground up, and is one of the people that works as hard as I do, probably harder most days, and just a really inspiring guy to be around. So it started from that, and then also seeing that the Entertainment One as a film and TV company is massively successful on a global scale, and music has a real opportunity to kind of grow inside that infrastructure.
Like you said, with eOne having a very substantial film and television side to it, does that in any way affect the artists that you bring, well, that eOne already has, but that you guys bring there? Is there any side benefits to that reach that now comes to the music side, or to the music artists, I should say?
I think there's a ton. I mean, there's some crossover that's happening currently with eOne has a unscripted department where some of the recording artists have kind of moved over and have developed television content kind of around them, and I know more of that is going on now, but it's certainly going to be a part of the pitch when we're sitting down with new artists. The artists that are on the roster currently, I've been describing it to them. I say, look, it's Last Gang, but it's just way better, with lots more opportunity. We're already building bridges to the film and TV department that are there, and they're coming back to us for ideas. We have Dual Tone, which is a great record label out of Nashville that's part of the family as well. We had lunch with them this afternoon. All kinds of really great ideas getting thrown back and forth. It's going to be a really exciting place to be.
As far as what you want to achieve as president, because now you're outside of just the Canada bubble within music. It's a global position that you've taken, and I know eOne has offices not just in Toronto, but I think LA and Nashville too, maybe New York.
The film and TV company have 14 offices around the world and 1,600 staff. The music division's a really small part of that, and at this point, the music company have working offices in New York, Toronto, and Los Angeles. But we're going to grow that. We were talking about that earlier today as well, to really make it a global proposition for a music artist that wants to expand what they're doing.
For you to come in this position, obviously the folks at eOne must have saw something in whatever vision you were pitching as a president of the music division. Where do you see yourself taking this, or essentially within this position, what do you want to achieve, or what do you want I guess, the division under you to achieve under your guidance?
My, when I met with the staff for the first time, I sort of explained to them the music division's been a profitable part of that business over the last decade, and there's a lot to be said for that in this day and age when people have been losing money or selling out completely or going out of business. So it's been a solid operation run by really good operations people and creative people. What I want to do and try to achieve there is add on to that. So we look at things like I'd mentioned earlier, being a global operation, we need staff in London. Maybe we need staff in Australia. Maybe we need staff in some of these global markets where we can sell music and help artists' careers. I want to develop the publishing side, the music publishing side of the business. Up till now, that's been a small part of the music part, and I think there's real opportunity there. We're going to grow our management division as well. Last Gang has a management division, and we have a management partnership with a company called People's Champ, who are managing some really great artists. I want to do more of that with managers that we love and respect and have an eye for talent, and work with them and bring them under our wing. We'll do more deals like the Dual Tone deal and the Last Gang deal. So cool, interesting, small independent record labels that are looking for the resources and want to be with us. We want to have a discussion with them about that. So that's sort of 4 prongs. There's a lot more prongs than that, but those are sort of the first 4 or 5 priorities that we have kind of going into this year.
The streaming's no longer a new thing. It's it seems like it's no longer a new thing, but in many ways we're still kind of in that Wild West era of streaming, and there's still a lot of battles being fought as far as over revenue, who gets what cut, or how big of the pie, how big a piece of the pie, I should say. Having the kind of macro level vision of the industry, do you see a way forward, or maybe something that hasn't been done or something that's already been done in a small way, but essentially, do you see the way forward as far as making streaming, which everyone seems to agree is here to stay and is necessary and is at least bringing in some revenue, but doing it in a way that everyone from artists to labels to the streaming services themselves is feeling that they're getting a fair cut?
Well, I think maybe some days some people are never going to be satisfied unless they get the whole pie. The reality is streaming is growing the pie again, whereas we were into some serious shrinkage over the last 15 years. I've been here, I've lived every day of that. So I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I see the opportunity with streaming. It's growing every day. It's not getting smaller. And it's a real opportunity for new artists, catalog artists, to get their music out into the world and get people to pay for music again, unlike what they've been doing, for the last few years. I do think there's an opportunity here too. I think smaller labels, individual artists, I think are going to have a hard time making sure they're getting paid. And part of this move to be with eOne, a bigger company, bigger market share, a bigger say at the table, was part of the move for us as well.
Interesting. And just before we wrap up here, I don't know how many times you've been down the South by Southwest, but I'm sure it's a lot.
I was thinking about that on the way here. My first time here was in 1992 as a recording artist, and this year will be my 25th year.
Wow. So
that's a lot. It's grown since then.
No kidding. After all that, I'm sure the dynamics have changed suddenly for you coming down here, being in the new position. But mostly as far as what you can share with artists, I've heard many things about how it's harder to get noticed at South by Southwest than it used to be, and that if you're not already coming with hype and already coming with people intending to see you, it's hard to get noticed. Based on your experience or just your observation, what would you tell an artist that's coming to South by for the first time? Is it worth it, and essentially how do they make the most of it if they're doing it?
I think tied to my earlier comment about the glass being half full, I was thinking about this last night. We were watching our band Bear Mountain from Vancouver that was playing here. Not a lot of hype coming in here, not a lot of buzz, people sort of talking about them. We were playing at a venue up on Congress. It was completely packed. I was like, where are these 300 people come from? And I was saying to our CEO, I said, look, there are a lot of bands here. but there's a lot of people here. And if you play those 4 or 5 shows, you're going to get in front of people. And, you know, I don't know, is it going to lead to you being on the cover of NME next week or whatever? I'm not so sure about that, but you're going to get in front of some music fans. And these people that come to South by Southwest are here because they love music, they want to discover music, and it's a real opportunity. So whether you're Arkells or Bear Mountain or Mastercraft, whatever level of the hype is that you're coming in with, I think it's still worthwhile.
Well, I'm sure you're very busy and in demand. Thank you for this. I'm looking forward to seeing what's in the near and long-term future for both you and eOne, and I really appreciate you taking the time, eh?
Thanks for the time.
Cheers.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt.